Okay, thank you. Actually, I thought something was not there for your syllabus. Previously, do you have any doubts in associations? Yeah? Okay, let's start with the next topic, that is nothing but generalization. Generalization and inheritance. There are three things here what you will be learning: generalization, specialization. Yeah, there are three things: generalization, specialization, and inheritance. You will be learning those three concepts in today's class. Okay, and that and overriding you have. I thought the last topic is not there, but let me check once. Okay, I will give you an exercise. By then, I think I will put that slides and finish that topic also today. Fine. So, what is generalization, or what and specialization and inheritance? Okay, what is inheritance? I've already taught you in the earlier class, right? So, what do you mean by inheritance? Students, you're able to hear me, right? Ma'am, it's working. Okay. So, yeah. Lavanya says inherits the properties of the other class. Here, properties inherited from the parent class. Okay, this is all definition. Do you really understand what do you mean by inheritance? Or why do we require to have this concept of inheritance? What is the use? Reusability, good. See, the reason why we are trying to use this inheritance is okay, Saif, we can group particular attributes in one class. Yeah, fine. That is known as classes. So what is inheritance here? See, okay, fine. Some of you answered, some of you are trying to answer, but all of you try to understand this concept. This you will be using for a very long time from now on. What is this concept and why is it required? Okay. See, there is a relationship between, according to definition, it says a relationship between a class and one or more variables of the other class. Basically, like your friend said, the main use of inheritance is in reusability and also to avoid duplicity. Okay. What do I mean by avoiding duplicate code or duplicate data like that? Let's say, for example, parents child relationship as your parents and your the kids. Okay, there are certain properties that are common, like your mother tongue or your house address. Let's say, time being you're with your parents itself. Right, or something, all those things, your place, from your place where you are from, all that, you inherit certain properties from that, right? So if you have a use inheritance, what happens is, we say certain properties you get it from your parent itself. You need not have to redefine it within your own class. Let's say, for example, there are two classes. Okay, one parent and other child. This one I will take a little bit time and try to understand, make you understand. Please try to follow. Let's think that this is one class. Okay, fine. I have a parent class here. Let's say your parent. Okay, and this is a child. I don't know why I'm not able to set the color, but okay, fine. Let's say this is one parent class and this is one child class. Now the parent has certain properties like name and address and all of that, right? So let's say this is the parent class, has the property name, address. Okay, name of the class is parent. Fine. Now this is the child class. Yes, ma'am, you have not followed the principles. That is, line should be there and all. Okay, I understand. Only thing is, I'm not able to create it. That's the only thing. Why is it okay? Okay, this is a child class. Child also has a name and address. Let's say now parent name, something like that. Fine. All these properties, its own properties. But here, if you assume here, this address and this address here, parent address here, you have, right, this one and the child address here are the same. Agree with me, all of you? Do you agree with me? Yes. So the parent's address is also, let's take it as a permanent address. What I'm referring to, attribute. Okay. First of all, try to understand this is one class by name parent having attributes. This is another class by name child, and the attributes are this here. What we are, what I'm trying to tell you here is, there is an attribute called address. Now the parent address is the same, and the child address is also the same. Let's say the child is staying with the parent. Now, am I not duplicating it in two places? My voice is breaking. Now, I don't know whether it is with the connection or not. Is it breaking now also? Okay, guys, in case if it happens, let me know. I will repeat. Okay. So here what is happening is two places I am using this address, but both of them refer to the same data, right? So it is not duplicate attribute here. Ma'am, what is there, ma'am? Let it be 10 times. It is fine. There is so much memory available we can store. See, it is not about the storage also problem only. Assume the parent changes the address. Okay, fine. Now, the child's address also changes. Do you agree with me? Can it be that here one address is there and here it is different? Is the data consistent then? No, right? So it will result in inconsistent data or attribute. So managing data becomes very difficult. So these are some of the issues when we face or what we face when we are referring to the same data and it is duplicated in multiple times. So, in order to avoid it, what I do is I use the concept of so, in order to reuse this data, in order to avoid the inconsistency of the data, I use the concept of inheritance. In inheritance, what happens is a child class inherits the properties of the parent class. Now, this is the child. Child is taking the properties of the parent. When I take the properties of the parent, I will remove these things. That is, these two address and parent name is not required. Why, ma'am, not required? Because in inheritance, the child class inherits the properties of the parent class. So this child will have, so second case, in this case, I'm sorry, during the second when it inherits, so what happens is the parent is this class, it is also called as superclass. So this is also called as superclass or base class or parent class. Fine. Whereas this class is known as subclass or child class. So, how does it figure or diagrammatically, how do I represent it in UML? It is through this arrow mark. So, wherever the arrow mark is, it means that this is parent, this is child. Some places, yes, they use the opposite. You have to understand how they are using the terminology. Okay. So, here in this diagram, wherever the arrow mark is pointing to, that is the base class, superclass, or parent class. The one which does not have the arrow mark, that is in case of here the child, here, this will become a child class because it does not have the arrow mark here. Did you understand this? So when we say child inherits the properties of the parent, it means that a child now has what are the attributes of the child earlier were only name. Fine. Let's say this address and parent name was there. Now because it is what happens is okay. To know what I can So here the child class will have name as its. Oh, so the child will have its same name as its attribute. Okay, and then it will have name as well as address. Now you might ask me, ma'am, what is the other name and what is the other address? So this name is the child name. The other two attributes here, name and address, it is these attributes are derived from its parent class, that is this parent here. Did you get it? Suppose the parent has something, job, and what can I say? Pan or something. Okay. So this will also have all those properties. That is name, address, whatever properties. I won't say job, maybe. Yeah, something like this. Did you get it? All of you? Ma'am, this parent and child is confusing. Let's say I have a class by name, department. Okay. So I will ask you a question now. Let's say, can you someone say what are the attributes that are possible for a department? Name and HOD and faculty. Yeah, something like this. Then I have, okay. So if you can see, I have a class by name department and I have a class by name student. Fine. Now, can someone tell me what are the attributes? Okay, I will only ask. Aditya Raj, you're there? Anagashri? Yes, Aditya Raj. Aditya Raj, what are the attributes of the department class? Okay, similarly, Chetana, you're there? What about Anagashri? Not there. Okay, thanks, Aditya. Attributes of our department are name, HOD, and faculty. Anusha, Chetana, Deepa, Deepali. Yes, Chetana. Fine. What are the attributes of the student class? Deepali. Yes, Chetana. Can you give the attributes of the student class? Okay. Name, USN, and branch. Dear, which thing are you referring to? See the diagram here. In the slide, what am I representing? There, I'm asking. Yes, Deepa, can you tell? Name, address, and parent name. Okay. Chetana, what you said, yes, I agree they are attributes. But in my figure, what are the attributes I have? Name, address, and parent name. Yeah, now you are telling me, ma'am, that is not enough. Okay. USN, and you say branch. Name already I have put. Okay with this. Now can you tell me, Chetana, what are the attributes? How many? Okay. How many attributes are there in the Chetana? Only three, or you have how many attributes? Yeah, thank you. Five. Name, address, parent name. Along with that, I added USN and branch, right? Now, I say student inherits the properties of the department. How do I show it? I show it through an arrow mark. So, yes. Fine. So now student inherits the properties of the department. Now Chetana, tell me how many attributes will student class have? What do I mean by inherits the properties? Student will get the properties of the department. How many properties are there in the department? Name, HOD, and faculty. Now, student, along with its five attributes, will have another three attributes, that is name, HOD, and faculty, which is nothing but eight. Did you all understand this concept? And why do you require it? Yes or no? Okay. What about the girls there? Anaga, Deepali, and other girls I called out? Not there. They've just logged in and they have left. Fine. Tell them to come message back, otherwise they will be marked absent. Now the reply will come faster. All the network connectivity will be there, right? Okay. This is about inheritance. Whatever I explained, that is there within the text here. Let me know if something I have not explained. All of you can go through it. See, after this, you have a exercise today which you have to do. So I would suggest you to understand this properly. So, ma'am, any kind of class can I have inheritance? No. See, wherever there is classification problem involved. Ma'am, what is classification problem? Like types. Like say for example, vehicles. Vehicles can be divided into two-wheeler, four-wheeler, or whatever. Okay, three-wheeler, something like that. And in two-wheeler you have one or two, in three-wheeler you have again, and in four-wheeler you have so many types, right? So let's take for example four-wheeler. In four-wheeler, yes, car, bus, truck, whatever. And in that also truck you can classify again into them into different types. So see, when you go to the lowest level in the truck, truck will inherit the properties of a four wheeler. Four wheeler will in turn get the properties of what? Vehicle. Do you agree? Yes or no? See, wherever there are classification, that is, for example, I said, I took an example for vehicle. Okay, in vehicle, I told one wheeler, I'm sorry, two wheeler, four wheeler, and three wheeler. Okay, and again in the four wheeler, I said car, bus, truck, and so on. In truck only, I can have so many types, right? So let's say, for example, I have a truck. Okay, now, truck will inherit the properties of this truck, will inherit the properties of a four wheeler. Four wheeler here will inherit the properties of a vehicle. Yes, so wherever the classification like that is possible, there and all you can use inheritance to reuse the data. Can someone else give a problem like that where the classifications are possible? Yes, Deepali, can you give an example wherein such kind of classification are possible? Any example? Yes, Anaga. Now I hope your connection is there. Sudhir, no. Okay, anyone who can give an example? Yeah, Kavya. Very good example. See, Kavya says university, college, department, and student. Okay, for now I will give you all an exercise. Fine. You have a department here, and let me say student here. Okay. Um, something like this. So it means that student will get the properties of the department. Department will inherit the properties of a college, and college will in turn get the properties of a university. Yeah, something I can say. So this is university. This is college. Okay. So how can I say here? So student will inherit the properties of this is a department class, okay? It's not visible, that's it. Yeah, so student will inherit the properties of the department. Department will inherit the properties of college, and college will inherit the properties of university. See, ma'am, what is the uses? The university has a name, okay? Fine. College has a name, let's say. Okay. And this has so many properties. The this student here, yeah, this I could multi-level, we call it as multiple levels. Now, student, can you say what are the properties that will be inherited by the student class? All of you? Who will tell first? How many attributes will the student inherit? 10? 10, Ananya? See, earlier Deepa, who was it who said 8? Yeah, Chaitana said 8, right? From student will inherit the properties of the department 8. Now, what happens is college will get the properties of the university. So, college will get one property, that is nothing but name. Department will get two properties, one from college and one from university. That is the name of the college and name of the university. So student will get the properties of the department, of the college and of the university. So you can inherit from one single class or from multiple classes like this. This is known as multi-level inheritance. You will learn it later. But here you have to understand that the lowest level student here will inherit the properties of the department, college as well as university. Ma'am, what is the use? Now student by default does not have to know the university name, because have to have a attribute by name university. Why? Because he gets it from this university from where he is inheriting. Am I clear with this, all of you? Any doubts? See, I see only 10 students interacting. What about the others? Chakravardhan, Asta, Jeevan, Karthik. Thanks, Jeevan, for responding. What about the others? Ananya, let's not take it. I know you would have learnt object-oriented programming. You're telling public. By default, it inherits the properties. Visibility will not take that into picture now. Okay. Now I'll call out the attendance. USN 1, USN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 3 marked you present. 7. Yes, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 11. Asta, you can keep your attendance with you only. 12 present. Yeah, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
Ma'am, 20 present.
Ma'am, at what time did I call you and ask you, ma'am? Yes. 1, 4, 5, 20, 24, 25. When was I, when did I call your name and when are you answering? Dear, I understand there will be a lag. Okay. But how come when I ask you to ask a question also, there will be a lag for 5 minutes? Messaging, talking, anything is fine with me. Because none of you were responding, I started taking the attendance. But as soon as I started taking the attendance, first few will be slow. By then, someone would have put message in the group, ma'am is taking attendance, and all of a sudden, the attendance speed will be like after 5, 10, attendance was slow. After that, very fast. Yeah? Okay. I've taken attendance till 25. Next, I will call out again your names. If you are present, I will mark you present here. You also, Banu Priya. You realize now? Okay. Let's continue with the class. So, this is what organizes classes by their similarities, differences, structuring, or description of objects. A superclass holds common attributes, operations, and association. Subclass had specific attributes, operations, and associations. Each subclass will inherit the properties of a superclass. Generalization is called the is a relationship because each instance of a subclass is an instant of the superclass. Okay, all this what I explained. Yes, large hollow arrowhead means that. Yes, that is where the generalization. This is multiple levels. The example what I gave you earlier. Now, see here, for the student, parent is department, ancestors are college and university. Okay, for university, descendants are college, department, and students. So, whichever is above it is known as ancestors, and whichever is below, that is subclasses, are known as descendants, superclasses are known as ancestors. Okay. For student, the ancestors are college and university. Superclass or parent class is department. Yes, department also will be an ancestor kind. Okay. For university, descendants will be college, department, and student. Okay with that? Next, we have a generalization set name is an enumerated attribute that indicates which aspect of the object is being abstracted by a particular generalization. That is, you can tell what you are trying to. Set name means, like, for example, here, I will explain. Okay, you're giving basically a value for that inheritance. On what basis have you done the inheritance concept? Yes, ma'am. Can I have any kind of levels like this? Student gets from department, college name. Yes, it is okay to get properties from more than 2 or 3 classes. Here, this is also possible. That is, is here student class. There is another class what I have defined. The name of the class is parent. Okay, and the yes, there we have only one attribute, name. Here, when I say student gets the properties from the department as well as parents. So here it will get the properties of university, college, department as well as parents. Okay. This is known as multiple inheritance, whereas this is known as multi-level. Time being, you need not have to worry about it, but this is how it happens. Now, yes, here you might feel only when I'm taking from department, it was very easy. Yes, from college, university also it was easy. Now, student is inheriting properties from three classes along with this parent class. So if maximum two or three classes, if it inherits properties, then it is fine. If there are more than three or four classes, it is okay, but there should be not more than 10 levels. If there are 10 levels like that, what happens is it leads to confusions. So while designing these classes, we should be careful. Okay. So ma'am, then how can I reduce it? See, it is all depends upon your identifying of the classes and objects. If you do it properly, then coming up with a class diagram will be very easy. Fine with this? Anything else? You can read out the slide. If any doubts, let me know. Okay with this? Uh, Manik, let's not go to the implementation details. Okay. Implementation, when you learn object oriented programming like C++ or Java or .NET, you will know how to call it. Okay. Compiler will take care of it. Chirantan, it is possible in some of the languages. It is not. The concept is allowed, but some of the programming languages support it and some of them don't support it. Okay. See, that is what you are learning, only these designing concepts. Fine. How to implement it, you will not learn here. Okay with that? Yes. So if you have specific doubt, you can ask me, Chirantan. I know what is your question. My multiple inheritance, it is not supported. Yes, sir. Chirantan Banerjee. C++ supports multiple inheritance. Java does not support multiple inheritance. It is supported through interfaces. But if you use C++, it is supported. It is language dependent, but the concept is perfectly fine. It will work. I don't know, maybe if this goes on, maybe next year I will only handle oops for you. That time I'll ask you, Chiratan. Yes, can I go further? Okay. Now, I've taught you so much. Can you only tell me what is does this diagram mean, or do you want me to explain? Or this one shall I explain next? Next one you will only understand. So arrow mark is like this. So what is the base class or a parent class? Okay, what are the first? How many classes are there? Can someone tell? Let's not go to inheritance. Whatever I have taught you in the earlier classes, based on that, how many classes are there? Okay, I will ask the person. Asta, can you tell Pa how many classes are there? At least first let me know you're online. Okay. How many classes in this diagram, dear? Banupriya, how many classes? Number. See, this is really bad. Gaurav, Ganesh, yes, Ganesh, how many classes are there in this diagram? Darshan, Rishita, Darshan, 10 classes. Thank you, Darshan. I don't know whether it is right or wrong. At least you responded. Asta, still network lag? Okay, Ganesh says 9, Darshan says 10. Who wants to add to it? Yusuf 10. Tushar. Are there any objects in this? And how many are there? Are there any objects? Okay, so many people. Good. 3. See, one thing to identify classes is how many rectangle dabbas are there, boxes are there in the diagram, in the slide what I have put. Let's say starting from 1. 1 is the equipment, then you have pump, then you have heat exchange, then you have tank, then something known as centrifugal pump, diaphragm pump, plunger pump, something like that. Here, spherical tank, pressurized tank, floating roof tank. Yes, let me first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Ma'am, according to you, dabbas, there are other boxes, there are other 3. 10 plus 3, 13. No. But see this line here. Line, colon, equal to, attribute value, attribute is equal to a value. When you I have first recognition is when there is a line and when there is a colon which says then, what does it mean? It is an object. So these three are objects. So the rest will become classes. Yes. So there are 10 classes, 3 objects. Did you get it? Even if it is wrong, I'm fine. Please answer. At least I will get to know something you're learning. Right? Now all of you got to know how many classes are there and how many objects are there. Now, there is first class equipment. Now, there is another class pump, exchange, and tank. See the arrow mark here. They are linked, right? Now, if you can see, there is an arrow mark and there is this one on the top. So it means that which is parent and actually the thing is it is one line here, one line here. So they have connected using a single arrow marker. Okay. So In this, which is base class or parent class and which is child class? Only in the above three: equipment, pump, heat exchanger, and tank. Which is the parent and which is the child? Yes, Kavya says equipment is superclass. Okay. And the rest three classes are subclasses. Fine. So it means that pump, heat exchanger, and tank are the subclasses of equipment class, and they inherit the properties of equipment. What are the properties of equipment? Name, manufacturer, weight, and cost. So, along with, let's take for tank. Tank has a volume and pressure. So, along with its own attributes, volume and pressure, it is inheriting the properties name, manufacturer, weight, and cost. In tank only, there are three types of subclasses: spherical tank, pressurized tank, and floating roof tank. Yeah. What are the properties of this floating roof tank? Who will tell? I'm asking. Okay, I will only ask someone the question. My question is, there is floating roof tank, which is a subclass of tank. What are its attributes or properties? Now, whom do I want to ask this question? Fabian, you're there in the class? Yes, sir. Thank you for responding. Fine. What are the attributes of this floating roof tank? Its own attributes are two things there. Okay, diameter and height. But it is a subclass of tank class, which is in turn a what? Subclass of equipment. Can you tell what are the attributes? I'll tell you, there is a catch for this question. The answer is already there within the slide itself. You need not have to do think thought process also. How many attributes does it have? Number at least. What are they? Manasa, Maithili, Medini. Yes, Maithili, Manasa. How many attributes does roofing tank has? Your friend says three. Maithili says two. The others, Medini, Manasa three. Okay. Mohan, Manjesh, Manik. Who says eight? Manik says eight. Okay. Yes, Mohan. How many attributes does a roof tank has? Medini, why three? Medini and Manasa, three. What are they? Can you say? Okay. Mohan says two. Fine. Mohan and someone else. Who was it? Maithili. Diameter and height. See Maithili and Mohan and all of you. What about Manjesh? What is your answer? 2. Janvi says 8. Okay. Manjesh 2. Okay. See, if I take only floating roof tank, it has two attributes. Yes, diameter and height. What Maithili said and other of your friends said too, I agree. But some of you said 3. I don't know how it is. It will have 3 values. Simply someone posted, if you copied it, you should know why. So okay, 2 it is fine. But if you see this line here, it means that it is inheriting some class. Do you agree with me? So, from which class is it inheriting? From tank class. So, it will have all the properties of the tank class also. But if you see, tank is in turn inheriting from equipment. So, tank will have the properties of equipment also. So, tank will have 2. Along with it, it will have 4: name, manufacturer, weight, and cost. So, it is 2 plus 4, 6. So roof, this floating roof tank will take 6 properties. 6 properties plus its own 2. How many does it become? 8. And I told you the answer is there in the slide itself. See the object here. I have a name of an object called T11. Okay, one object which is floating roof tank. It has name. The name is T11, which it gets from equipment. Then it has manufacturer, something simplex tanks. I think that is what example they have taken. So the manufacturer, if you ask, ma'am, there are 8 properties. Where did it get 8 properties? It has only two, no, diameter and height. That is 8 and 9 meters. No, dear. No, students. This is 2 properties, diameter and what? Diameter and height it got from this one, but the other 6 properties it got from its ancestors. Volume and pressure, 2 properties. Yes, this volume and pressure it got it from its parent tank, and the other 4 properties, okay, these things, name, manufacturer, weight, and cost. It got from its ancestor, that is nothing from the but equipment. Am I clear? Yes. Yes, my who was the people? Yes, Maithili, Medini, all of you. Did you understand now? Okay, Medini. Then I have a question for you. Okay. No, I will not ask you. Okay, Medini, you only I will ask. Medini and Maithili, this is a question for you both. Okay. Hmm. How many attributes does this diaphragm pump have? How many attributes does this diaphragm pump have? It's for both of you, Maithili and Medini. 8. Okay. What does the other person say? 8. Correct? Fine. Anyone has any other answer? Kavya says 10. Okay, Kavya, can you tell me what are the property? Okay, let's take for Kavya's. Okay, I don't know which is correct or not. Now I will trace. Okay, diaphragm pump has its 8 is 1, 10 is 1. Diaphragm has its own property, diaphragm material 1. Its base class is pump. Okay, it has 3. So 1 plus 3, how much? So, okay, I can't draw here. So, so this is 1, this place. Okay, this is 3. So 1 plus 3, 4. Pump is in turn a subclass of equipment. So 4 plus, what are the properties of equipment? 4. 8, no? How did you get 10, Kavya? 8 only? Do you also agree? Fine? Okay, thank you. Hmm. Okay. How many attributes will plunger pump have? That is this one. Plunger pump. How many attributes will it have? Asta, can you give the answer? Okay. Asta, it is 10. 3 plus 3 plus 4. Think about it again. I can't explain it once more. Is this example clear for all of you? Now, in this example, please identify the number of classes. All of you don't give the answer. I want all of you for this slide here identify the number of classes. I'll ask anyone. Okay. Shall I ask now? Sai Sankirtana, how many classes are there? Suchita, Sahil, Nagendra. How many classes are there in this diagram? Don't tell me, is it that much difficult, guys? Where are they? Students from S, I asked. Sahil, Sankirtana, Suchita, Sudhir, I've already asked, so I will not ask him. Yes, Suchita, how many classes are there, Pa, in this figure? Okay, Muskan, 10. Okay, Suchita, others. So Sahil and Sankirtana are not there in the class. Is it so? 11? Oh, thank you, Sankirtana. Janvi says, yes, Muskan, your friends are telling 11, you're telling 10, or they are wrong, or you are wrong. Maithili is also 11. Okay. So let's try to go through the figure. Fine. All boxes are classes. Okay. In case if there is a box with a line, then it is an object. So one. So I have one class, another class here, diagram, figure 2, 0 dimensional 3, 1 dimensional 4, 2 dimensional 5, point 6, line 7, arc 8, spile 9, polygon 10, circle 11. So there are 10 classes. Which one did you leave, my Muskan? Diagram? Yeah. Now Muskan will ask, ma'am, there is only a line, there is no arrow marker. Correct? No? See, that is what I wanted to bring that difference. It means that, yeah, what is simply line with that one and star mean? Thank you, Hemant. It is an association. So it means that a diagram is associated with a figure. One diagram can have multiple figures. One and star. Star means any number of instances. So one diagram can have multiple figures, right? But only difference here is neither diagram is what inheriting the properties of the figure, or neither the figure is inheriting the properties of the diagram. Did you understand? All of you, see, they are not a child and parent class here, figure and diagram, but they are related and they have an associativity. Okay, did you get this, all of you? So how many attributes does diagram have? Can someone say? What are the properties? One. What are the properties of figure? How many properties does figure have? Number 8. Yeah, 8. Am I clear? Now, can someone say how many properties does arc have? Arc. Okay. Here there is a catch. Now, actually, it is 14 because here there are methods as well as properties. Ma'am, you said properties only, attributes. That's why. Okay, fine. Only properties or attributes, if I take only this, it will be 4 plus 5 and those 4. Okay. But when we say it is inheriting, so it will take both the members as well as the attributes. So the attribute values for figure is 4 plus function is 4. So this arc will inherit both these properties, attribute values as well as functions. So 8, and from orientation it will take 1 and 1, that is property or attribute 1 and method 1 scale. So 5 and 5. So here along with it is it has its own. So 10 plus 4, 14. Okay. Now I want to teach one feature here with this example only. See, in your textbook, they have given about this. See, in a figure, there may be here. This is a classification problem. It can be figure maybe 0 dimensional, 1 or 2 dimensional. In 0 dimensional, it can be only point. In 1 dimensional, it can be this. In 2 dimensional, it can be like this. So wherever classification, you can come up with a problem. They have explained it. Okay, that is what it is. Here there you have a concept known as overriding. So how will I explain? Let me finish this overriding today. So Figure, I said, there are 14. Anyone who does not agree with that number 14? Yes, everyone agrees. Fine. Let's list them down. First is color. Then you have something known as, I will write only first word, guys. Then you have pen thickness. Then you have pen type. Ma'am, we are wasting time. There is something I want to teach you. That's the reason. Okay. This is from, okay, I was talking about which one? Arc. Let me take endpoints. It is easy. It will have only, okay, endpoints. How many does it have? Properties. Can someone say? 12. Rakshit, thank you. Agreed? Okay. This is for line. So line will take its own properties from one dimension and figure. So from figure, it is taking all of this. Okay. And from one dimension, it is taking orientation. Agreed. And from its own, it is taking endpoints. These are the attributes. Okay. All these attributes I will put in one color, red. Okay. The methods, what and all it will take. Move, then select, then row, then display. Okay. Then from the other it will take scale, and from here it will take a display. Did I list out all the 12 attributes? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Agreed? Now, any doubts here? This is for line, what I have done. Any doubts here? No, right? Let's observe there is a concept known as overriding. What do I mean by overriding is, okay, overriding means a subclass may override a superclass feature by defining a feature with the same name. Okay. See, already in base class, you will have some feature which you are taking, but you want to. What do you mean by general overriding? You want to give your own definition rather than the default. Fine. So, in order to do that, let's take for example. Hmm, what example can I give? My screen is visible, guys. Okay, thank you. See, or I will take this example here only. What I have. See, for example, here, if I say here in display, fine, I have a function called display or I have a function so and so. Okay. This is from the base class. Do you all agree? This thing, move. This is a line here. Line gets from figure, move, select, rotate, and display. From one dimension, it will get scale, and its own, it has a display. Okay. Let's say, for example, the display here will display just that figure. Okay. Fine, but I don't want that to be displayed. It will not take colors or it will not take what in lines only displaying something rather than Let's say this first display will simply display a line like this. But my requirement is I want to display a line which is thick enough or something like which example should I take? Something like this. Okay, I want to display dotted lines, but here it is doing only the first one. See the same function, but I want to give my own specification, or I need to override this default and I want to define my own thing. So that can be done by a concept known as overriding. When we do this overriding, we give the function names as the same. Parameters will also be the same, but inside what definition they will do or how they will do, it will be different. Okay, this is known as overriding. Basically, you are overriding the default thing to give your own specification or to highlight your own um, highlight your own something you want to do unique or something specific apart from the general. Then we use this overriding technique. This overriding means something is there but you don't want that, you want to add your own specifics. That is known as overriding the default and giving your own what I can say specific or um, the term I forgot, guys. Okay. Customized. Yeah, you can go for something like customization. So overriding is nothing but wherein there is in the base class you have a general or a default thing, but you don't want a default thing. You want to have your own specific definition for that. So you will define the same thing with the uh, same name as your base class. See in this case here. This is an example for overriding. You have a display here. Two types of display are there in line. One is the display which belongs to the figure, and other display is the one which belongs to the line. It will always use this display only, or it will highlight. Why, ma'am, it will highlight this one, or it will give preference to this? Why, ma'am? Reason is because this is the most specific, or this is why you have defined this only, is to override your base one. So that is the concept of overriding. Ma'am, it is very difficult. Okay. Time being, you leave it. Only thing you have to remember is yes, you can have base as well as, sorry, you can have the same thing both in the base class as well as in the subclass. But always your subclass gets the preference. Why? Because you are overriding and giving your customized thing more importance. So see here, arc also has a display, but yes, it will take precedence compared to display of the figure. Okay. It's possible one dimension can also have a display function here. Then arc can have three display functions, its own one dimension as well as figure. Okay, but what it gives precedence is its own because that is specific to that class. Because you have overridden it, you have, why have you come up with that function? Only because you want to display something which is unique for this one, right? So by default it will call this. So you are overriding this display here, is overriding the display of this one and as well as this one. Ma'am, how is it possible? All this what you have thought, how is it possible in real time programming? Yes, object oriented programming concepts are supported in in all these languages like C++, Java, and .NET. So all of that you can, yes, all what I have taught you now is theoretical. Practically, it is supported in programming languages, object-oriented programming languages. You can implement all these designs in those languages. Actually, it is very easy. What is difficult is coming up with diagrams like this, identifying classes, objects, and attributes, endpoints, the association, inheritance. Identifying them is difficult. Coming up with the diagrams like this is difficult. But once you have this diagrams or this design, you can implement it without any difficulty. Any doubts here? So this slide, what are the uses? That is what I said. Uses of this class, superclass, subclass, inheritance is reusing of the code and description of objects and polymorphism. Yes, you are wrong. That is nothing but overriding, overloading. That flexibility is all possible because of this generalization. So generalization, specialization, inheritance all refers to the same thing. With generalization, superclass generalizes the subclass, whereas subclasses, when we take from the superclass, we say it is generalization. When we take from the subclass, we mean it is specialization. So this is about overriding. So you can go through this. Signature means overriding the methods here. The display method, signature, I hope you all know. Return type and the argument list. Whenever you are overriding, the signature should be the same. That is your org. Now, those who already know hoops will tell, ma'am, it is return type may be different. Okay. For them, I will say, yes, argument list must be the same. So the signature should be the same. If you change it, then it will not be overriding. Then it will be called something known as overloading. Now, I'll take attendance. Meanwhile, I want you to go through this and understand what it means. Okay? All of you. How many classes are there? Is there any generalization? Is there any association? What are these associations? There may be sometimes that some classes there is no association, there is no generalization. What are they? All this I want you to understand, identify. Next I will ask question. First of all, what is this class diagrams and what does it tell you? I'm not telling you what the problem is. I'm asking you what the problem is. By seeing this class diagram, can you make out? Yes, please go through it. Then I'll ask some of the students what did they understand by this class diagram. Is it okay? Is it fine? Am I done enough so that you can tell this? Okay, thank you, sir. Please go through it. Whatever you have identified from this, what problem is it? What are the classes? What are the attributes? What are associations, generalization? All that I want you to apply to this figure. Okay, guys. Answer your attendance one. Asta, 4. The others I marked you present. That's why. 4. Okay, 5. 20. 26. 24. 24. 25. Okay, from 26. Others. 27. 28. 29. 30. 30. 9. 40. 40. 41 to 50. Please type. 49 not there. Okay. From 51 to 60. 52. 65. 65. Okay, guys. 52 fine. Marked present. 70. 70. 71 to 80. 74. Okay, 75. 78. Okay. 81 to 90. 83. Okay. 84. 85. 85 present. 84. 85. Okay. 86. Okay. 87. 88. 89 and 90. So the students whom I have marked. Banupriya, this time also I called your name. Yes, 65, I marked you present. How many times, Banupriya? So these are the students I have marked absent. 74 is present. Okay, fine. I'll remove your name. Anyone else? Okay, apart from that, the rest I've marked absent. Okay, guys, have you gone through? Okay, Bhanupriya, can you explain any two lines about this class diagram? Yes, ma. No. The others, you can take a snapshot of this, or it is fine. Next class, I'll ask you. Bhanupriya, you should be the person answering this. So be prepared. Uh, okay, the way in which I got this from net, they are taking it as an attribute plus. That's it. Maybe they've used some tool, and in that tool it has come. Okay. But in UML diagram, it does not have any special meaning. Okay, guys. Next class we'll continue with this. Thank you.